Hi. So this sequence is a restorative sequence to open up the chest, the lungs, the area around the heart. I personally do believe that whatever we process in our mind and in our psyche or feelings, they somehow also manifest in our body. And especially when we experience feelings of fear, anxiety, and so forth, what often happens is that we close down this area. It's kind of a protective reaction. So shoulders rounded in and everything gets very tight, and that disables us to breathe, which builds up. So we breathe less and we feel more anxiety and so forth. And to kind of get out of this vicious cycle, I would like to show you a restorative pose that I find quite helpful for the purpose. You will need either one or two blankets for this. If you have yoga blocks at home, you could also use yoga blocks. At least one for sure, maybe two, and maybe something more to support your knees. But we will go through it. You can check out yourself. Or another thing you could use is a pillow from your couch or from your bed. It should be on the more sturdier side though, so that you don't sink into it. I myself will use a blanket for this. So I have a bit of a thicker blanket here that I'm gonna roll up into a roll, quite thick one. So I'm taking it like this and then roll it up. And then I have a blanket roll of about, I would say that's about 10 centimeters, but it's already quite high. You don't have to go that high. You can also use a thinner one. And the other one, I'm just folding together so that I have something to support my head, so that the head is not on the mat or on the floor. Before we go down, blocks we'll just leave here. Before we go down, find a comfortable seat, either cross-legged or kneeling. And then roll your shoulders up to the ears a few times. Find your seat. Deepen your breath. And then on your next inhalation, rise your arms straight up. And then on the exhale, bring them out to the side. And then inhale. Open the arms even more as if you were about to give someone, a really big person or an elephant or whatever, a hug. And then exhale round the back and bring the hands together in the front. Inhale, open a few times. And it can be very tiny movements like this. And you gradually may feel that it's getting easier and that you have more space, more freedom around the thoracic spine and the shoulders. But always move with your breath. Allow the whole spine to follow along. The head to come down on the exhalation, and when you inhale, bring it more into a neutral position. Once more. And then on your exhalation, this time, cross your arms so that the right elbow is on top of the left elbow. And then give yourself a hug. With your fingers, find the edges of your shoulder blade on the back, so really palpate yourself there. And maybe you have the mobility, maybe you don't, maybe this is where you end up, that's fine too. Then you can get hold of your shoulder heads here. But if you reach all the way back and can feel your shoulder blades, can you hook your fingers under the edges of the shoulder blades? And then breathe into that hug. Breathe into the back side. Feel your breath there. Do your shoulder blades move on each inhalation? And last one. And now when you exhale, round yourself into a tiny ball. Snuggle your head in there as well, your chin. Breathe. Exhale with a sigh. Then on the next inhalation, we open up again, so arms over the head. And exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms out to the side. And we come back into the hug. So inhale, open. Exhale, hands come together at the front. Bring the chin to the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel your breath. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. This time the left elbow on top of the right, crossing the arms, and then bend the elbows. Maybe get hold of your shoulder heads. Maybe you can reach all the way back and find your shoulder blades at the back. Hook your fingers under there. And breathe. Bring the back of your head a bit back so that the head is not dangling down or the chin sticking out. Breathe into the upper back region. And if that doesn't go easily straight away, then bring your attention there and be sure that breath will follow sooner or later. Can you feel your ribcage expand on each big inhalation? And then side out. Everything that got stuck in there. Whether it's fear or anxiety or even a sensation of boredom or whatever it is, breathe it out. And then inhale, open the arms. Exhale, hands together in front, round your back. And then inhale, open, lift the arms over the front. And then exhale, bring your hands into your chest and let the hands rest on your knees. So we will go down now. Have your props prepared. You can put me on pause if you need a moment for that. And we will set it up gradually. So, the blanket roll, or if you use block, should be at the lower edge of your shoulder blades more or less. So by palpating them, you might know now where they are located more or less. And that's where you put your prop. The idea is that when we lie down, that our breastbone, the sternum, is the highest point. Okay? So you don't want to have the blanket roll all down there in the lower back. Especially you don't want to put any pressure on your vertebrae, on your spine. But instead let your shoulder blades rest on the support. And then you can wiggle a bit from side to begin with. It's also pretty nice to massage that area. Now, my shoulder roll is pretty high, which means if I allow my head to dangle down there, I sometimes like it, but probably not for too long. And also, since this is a restorative practice, I want to feel like really hold by the ground and safe. So that's why I have another blanket there. I even folded it up once more so that it's a bit higher. And so that there is something, well, that's even still not high enough, so I'll take another one of block. Or optionally, I could also make the roll of the blanket a bit lower. I want to have support for my head. And then the arms, they can hang down there. So that the head of the shoulders, the heads of the shoulders, they can really give it in there. The arms are reaching out to the side. As I said before, the breastbone, the sternum is the highest point, reaching up to the ceiling. And then I'm gonna checking in. Okay, so my head feels pretty safe and nicely hold here. Next question would be, how does my low back feel in this position? Is it okay to have the knees bent like this? Does anything change if I put the feet a bit wider and allow my knees to fall together in the center? Or how would it feel if I stretch out the legs? It's another option. I don't want to feel any strain in the low back. So I would choose any option that feels most relaxed actually and most and safe. Another variation could be to bring the feet together and allow the knees to fall out to the side. So this gives you even more of an opening also in the lower body around the hips, but it can feel a bit uncomfortable for some people in the hips or in the knees. So what you could do then is to place something under your knees so that the knees are held up and that you don't put any strain on your tendons around here, okay, and around the knee. So that also could be an option. Myself, I'm going for legs extended. And then when you're ready, what I forgot to mention before, what you can also do here to make it even more restorative, especially if you're doing this at the end of the day, is if you have an eye mask at home, to put an eye mask or a rolled up towel onto your eyes to cover your eyes. And then take a breath in and exhale. And give all your weight now into the props. And ask yourself once more the question, do I feel comfortable where I am right now? Or is there anything that needs to be changed before I can totally let go and give in to the pull of gravity? Knowing that my props are holding me up. Trusting that I'm safe here. And if the answer would be no, then put me on hold, get up, change whatever needs to be changed. Otherwise, close your eyes and feel the support below your shoulder blades, under your head, whether it's a blanket, the floor, a block. Relax your legs. Let them fall in or roll out, taking away any tension that is holding the legs. And how does the front side of your chest feel in this position? Where does your breath flow right now? Does your chest feel tight? And can your breath be a caretaker of that tension? Softening it with each inhalation. Calming it with each exhalation. And if you experience any tension around your chest,
Is there a way to name it? Can you tell what it is that is causing that sensation? Is it fear? Or solitude? Whatever it is, instead of pushing it away, can you allow these sensations, these feelings to be there? Can you allow them to give them space to be acknowledged? Keep breathing. And again, let your breath be the caretaker here to ease that fear or anxiety or feeling of loneliness. Just everything in this world is only temporary. And all those feelings, they will pass. If we allow them to be there in that space. Then they will dissolve sooner or later. Instead of we lock them down, try to control them, then it's when they get bigger and bigger and scarier and scarier. So allow them to linger there, to be heard and felt. And if that means that you feel like crying now, it just will happen, or any sort of emotional reaction, and that's totally fine. Let that happen. It's part of the process. A way of your body to process those emotions. Exhale out through your mouth whenever you have the feeling that there's something weighing down your heart. Something that actually wants to get released. You can remain with your arms where they are, or if you want to change a bit the sensation around your chest, especially after feeling that what felt tight a few minutes ago has opened up a bit now. Then you could decide to bring the arms more over the head, reaching the arms out, maybe resting one palm in the other, or interlacing the fingers, the hands. Maybe another variation. And that immediately changes the sensation that I feel in my upper back and around the shoulder blades. And it also triggers a few other thoughts and feelings that are there. So even though this is restorative, it doesn't have to mean that we stay in exactly the same shape for the whole time. We can do minor changes just to steer up things a tiny bit. Another variation could be, it might feel even more intense for some of you, to get hold of the forearm of the other arm, bringing them into this window leg shape, and then bringing the arms over the head. Be careful though to not build up any tension in the space between your ears and your shoulders. That can be the case if you bring the arms over the head. So if you feel already very tight there, then having the arms out to the side might be the way to go for you. And now that we've freed a bit of space in that area, we could also plant a thought there to grow. Something that gives you comfort and that makes you feel connected with the people around you, even though we're separated now. Not only here in Berlin, but around the world, everywhere, people are asked to stay at home and to keep distance to each other. But fortunately, we're still connected via the internet. Communication is possible. So, what kind of reaction do you feel in your chest area when you think of that? That we're all together in this. That we're all experiencing the same feelings, not only of fear and anger and loneliness, but also of hope. And love. We still feel love for the people that we can't see right now. We can't hug right now. Still, our love for them is there. It will not suffer. It may even grow stronger over the distance as we look forward to the day when we will eventually see each other again. let those thoughts grow stronger with each inhalation. Let each in-breath be the fertilizer of that thought. And we're all into this together. We all feel the same hope. It's gonna be over soon. We all feel the same love for each other and the same compassion for those who suffer right now. And it's that unity that will get us through this crisis. If you have your hands interlaced, then release them now. If you have them over your head, then bring them back more into a T shape, or even bring your hands onto your belly and onto your chest. Allow your breath to lift up your hands. And exhale with a sigh. And then roll over to left side or front side, doesn't matter, coming into a rescue position. So roll over the prop and then maybe lift yourself a bit up to put it away so that you can lie down into that rescue position for one more moment before getting up. I have my head resting on my right arm, so my right arm serves as a pillow here. It's easier for the neck. Feel once more the support of the ground. Know that Earth is always there to support you. And then pressing into your front hand, get up, slowly, slowly, back into seated position. Keep your eyes closed or your gaze very soft. How does your chest area feel right now after this practice? Has anything changed? Where does your breath flow now? That we probably created some space in that area. Do you notice a difference in your inhalations and your exhalations? Is there more clarity also in your mind? Then open your eyes, pull your hands in front of your chest, bow to yourself, and before you
get up and do whatever you want to do or need to do, jumping back in your your daily routine, I invite you to finish this practice by maybe calling or writing one person that is very dear to you, just to let them know that you're there for them and thinking of them. And if you can't do this for whatever reason, then stay in your seated position for a few more moments with your eyes closed and just think of them. And do exactly that, expressing what you feel for them within yourself. Have a wonderful rest of your day and see you soon.